Manchester United 3, Forest 2. And yo, this one feels a bit different today, you know. Last home game of the season, I'm saying bye to Cass, and it's peak, you know. Like what man was saying during the watch along, Casemiro is one of the few genuine world class players that we've had the privilege to watch post Ferguson at Man United. You know what I'm saying? And he's gonna be missed, and he won't be able to be replaced. Like the way that the modern game is changing now, they just don't make players like Casemiro anymore, man. Like we seen at Man United, he's a creator, he's a goal scorer, he's a leader. He breaks up plays, a destroyer. Do you know what I'm saying? He's got a very high football IQ, and bro, they just don't make players like that no more. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no way of replacing a player like that. And United are going to have to do a lot in the transfer window to replace not only his ability on the pitch, but also his leadership skills and just his presence off the pitch. And I don't even think that could be replaced by anyone currently playing in the game, because all these guys they're retiring now. Do you know what I mean? You can't buy experience, man. And some of the best Man United teams of the past had real experienced winners in them. Do you know what I'm saying? That spine that we had of the class of 92 that had won everything, they were there for large parts of the glory days, bruv. And you just can't replicate that kind of experience. The experience that the Varans brought in, the Zlatan's brought in, Cavani to a certain degree. Even when Nemanja Matic came in, he brought in that been there, done that experience. Like, you just can't replicate that. Do you know what I'm saying? Di Maria as well, even though he wasn't there long, you can't replicate that level of experience. So he's going to be sadly missed, man. And yeah, bruv, it's just obviously a great finish to the season. A lot of people had to eat their words on the Casemiro thing, because at one point man were trying to convince us that he was washed. But what a turnaround. What a show in character. Do you know what I mean? What a show in just being a real solid brother, like. You know what I'm saying? Because there was loads of quotes coming out saying that even when he wasn't playing under Ruben Amorim, could have spat his dummy out, could have thrown his toys out the pram, could have created a toxic changing room and started to cause divisions, but he didn't. He got his head down, still trained, was still asking the coaches what he can do to improve to get into the team, and he was also still helping Kobe a lot, which Kobe has spoken about. Do you know what I mean? And Kobe's gonna miss him, and that's what brings man on to Elliot Anderson, bro. The Elliot Anderson audition today, everyone had their eyes on it because he's been touted as the player to step in next to Kobe Mainu and replace Casemiro, and he played well today. I can't lie, bruv. He played really, really well today. I think he's a good player. I do not think he's a 6, and I don't know if he complements Kobe Mainu though. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, what you saw of Anderson today, he was absolutely everywhere. Great performance. Do you know what I'm saying? He does get stuck in. He's the controller for Nottingham Forest, but I think he's a controller for Nottingham Forest and the dictator, because they're the kind of team that just allows him to roam and go wherever he wants, innit? And he was in between centre backs. He was on the wings. Do you know what I'm saying? He got 2 assists, putting in 2 very good crosses today. He just does a bit of everything. Like, he's an all-action midfielder. You know what I mean? Like, but I don't know if he complements Kobe Mainu, bro. Do you know what I mean? I think they've got different strengths for sure, but neither one of them are sitters. Both of them want to get forward. Both of them want to roam. Kobe's better at ball carrying. Anderson's probably got the better range of passing. Yeah, like I would love to see them in a midfield 3, but with a number 6 behind them. You know? So it's one of them ones where I think he's a good player. I think it was a good audition today, even though I think he's City bound. People were saying that him and Carrick were talking after the game, so hopefully Carrick's using that Geordie connection to get that over the line. But in terms of how complimentary he is to Kobe, who actually played well today, I'm not really sure, innit? That would be my only reservation, yeah, other than the price tag. But if you take the price tag out of it, he's a Man United player in terms of the way he plays the game. Fergie would have loved him in it. It's almost like he's got that United DNA. He's got that tenacity. He's got the quality to be a game changer. And he's not afraid of the ball. He didn't hide today. He always wanted the ball. Do you know what I'm saying? Like in the half spaces, players on him, it doesn't matter. He always wants the ball. He does not hide. And that is something that I've accused a few midfielders of doing, hiding when their team's under pressure or hiding when their team has the ball. He certainly doesn't do that. So he's definitely got what it takes to play for Man United. There's no two ways about it. Bruno Fernandes, record equaled. Do you know what I'm saying? And we can't lie, bruv. He was going for it today. You could see the relief on his face when he finally equaled the record. You could tell that this has been plaguing him for a while, man, because performances have been a bit off. Like, do you know what I mean? Today, it's like you could tell that he was overdoing it. He just really needed that. And then as soon as he got the record, it's like he calmed down, and then, do you know what I'm saying? Like, he started playing again. He started shooting. Like, when have you seen a game where, like, Bruno just not even really shooting, like, he'd rather pass the ball? There was a couple opportunities where he should have shot and he passed, and you knew it was plaguing him, bro. And to be fair, yeah, Brian Mbeumo, even though he scored today, he got blood on his hands, because this brother had a hat-trick, at least a hat-trick worth of chances he should have scored, man. And Bruno at one point must have been thinking that he was sabotaging him on purpose, because it got to the point where Bruno was like, right, maybe I'm just not going to pass this brother the ball because he don't want to score today. Brian actually played really well today, but the opposite of his normal game was true. Normally, his all-round game isn't amazing, yeah, but he's lethal, he's clinical. Today, his link play was good, he ran the channels, he was dropping in pockets, he did everything right except being clinical. And in the end, he probably could have had 3 or 4 goals. So it was an opposite to the usual performance that you would expect from him, man. But United were the better team by far today, bruv. I'll be honest. They were the better team by far. The scoreline flattered Nottingham Forest, to be honest. It flattered them. Like, they got 2 goals, and that was probably the only 2 chances. They had another chance that Lomans made a save from, but the chat were telling me that they think it was offside anyway. Obviously, I was watching it on mute. But other than that, Forest didn't really threaten. I thought they nullified us at times pretty well without actually being threatening themselves. But hey, on another day, United scored 5, 6, 7 goals. I'm telling you, Brian could have had 3, 4. Like Ahmad had a chance saved, I remember. The keeper made some mad save from Xerxes at the end. I don't know how he managed to get that ball over the crossbar from already being on the floor, bro. Like, it's just like the football gods just never allow Manchester United to do things the easy way. We absolutely battered these guys. It turned into a basketball match here after we got the 3rd goal for the 3-1, innit? And then after that, it's like we was just playing for fun out there. You could tell, like, Forest, them man are already on the beach because they're safe. And we kind of looked like we was just doing the Cancun thing as well. It was just pure vibes from United, and I didn't mind it. That was one of the more entertaining games, bruv. Like, regardless of what you may think, yeah, you could say about the game, you can't say it was boring, innit? That was entertaining. The people that were moaning, saying about style of play under Michael Carrick, bro, you can't tell me you weren't entertained today. Luke Shaw took his goal really well today. Beautiful strike. Good goal from Brian. And another goal from Cunha. And Cunha and Brian are now on double figures in the Premier League as well. I think combined, them and Sesko, they are on like 31 goals or something like that, which is not bad for a first season, bringing in them 3, yeah, and expecting them to impact our season, and they have. They've absolutely fired us into Europe, and I'm looking forward to seeing Cunha in Europe, because Cunha, he's been, for me, our best attacker this season. He didn't start the fastest when we brought him in, but he's grown into the role at Man United. You can tell that, unlike some players, yeah, the responsibility actually makes him play better. Like, he thrives in it. Like, he's a real Man United player, bruv. Do you know what I mean? And you see the Brazilian, the flair and do you know what I mean? The personality come out of him when he plays. He plays in that red shirt, bro. Like, he absolutely loves it, man. And that's the difference between like top players like that. Like, they almost revel in the responsibility. With some players, when you give them too much responsibility, they kind of shrink and they're just happy to be just a good player in a really good team. But Cunha actually thrives on the responsibility in it. And I think when Bruno does leave, I'd like to see Cunha in Bruno's position in that shadow striker role in that number 10, where he can get on the ball, try more things, you know what I'm saying, take more risk, because bro, like, he's a real bad boy. Like, Cunha's actually a real bad boy. So I enjoyed watching him play today, and he's adapted his game. His efficiency in the wide areas has improved a lot, man. He put in some good crosses today. Before, he wanted to just like step inside and dictate and roam, and now he's actually taking players down the outside as well. So nah, man, I was just happy with the overall performance, man. I just don't think that there's really any negatives from today, bruv. You know what I'm saying? Like, our focus should 100% be on now making sure that we get the right players in the summer, yeah, so we can back Michael Carrick, so we can really have a go next season, because there's no debate in here that this has been a season of two halves, man. The second half of the season has been amazing for us. Like, we're almost forgetting what it's like to lose games, to the point where some United fans have found standards, yeah, that just wasn't there for Ruben Amorim. All of a sudden, the jury's always out on Michael Carrick. But Ruben Amorim was getting a free pass. No window for Carrick, no preseason for Carrick, and he's come in and he's proven, yeah, that he can just win games, bruv. But Ruben was doing the opposite, but their man had a bag of excuses for him. So I'm just looking forward to see what we do in the summer. And based on previous activity, I think that we're going to do some really good things, man. So we just got to keep our eyes out. The noises are positive, but it's still early, man. I expect Ineos to come through, man, with the duffel bag and back Michael Carrick, who they haven't announced yet as the manager. I think it's just paperwork at this point, but I believe that he's already started with them on where we need to recruit, what holes in the squad need filling. And bro, Carrick couldn't have done any more. I'm over the moon with what he's done at the club since he's come in. He's done what people perceive to be very simple, but then if it was so simple, why couldn't Ruben Amorim do it? And that's just what it is, bro. It's the same with Lomans, the goalkeeper, yeah? Like, he makes some really good saves, yeah, that people might look at and say, oh, these are simple saves. But bro, you see so many good keepers cannot make these saves, or they do not make these saves, or they make these saves more difficult than they need to make them. The biggest compliment I can give Lomans is that he makes everything look easy. Everything. Whether it's easy or it's not easy, bro. And there's goalkeepers out there making easy things look difficult. So with Michael Carrick, it's just exciting, bruv. Like, honestly, the guys that have their reservations about Carrick, I understand it, I don't agree. But the fact that it's done now, there's no point just being negative for the sake of it. Because a lot of people, it's like they want to be right more than they want Man United to be good. But in the past, yeah, the reason why Man United have not been successful is not because of specifically the coaches. We've all agreed that above the coaches, yeah, at board level, things haven't been right. At recruitment level, things haven't been right. And recently, it looks like these things they've been sorted. We have a continuity now that we didn't have before. We have a recruitment strategy that we didn't have before, because previously, the Manchester United of old under the Glazers would have been looking for marquee signings. Now we've got the Champions League. They'll probably be looking to go and get like a Kylian Mbappe because he's falling out at Real Madrid, or going out there and just getting a big name for the sake of getting big names. And now we're not. We're looking at profiles. We're looking at bringing in players that are on the right side of a certain age, whose best days are ahead of them, or who are in their best days at the moment. Not players that their best days have passed them, but they're big names. Like, no offense, like the Zlatans, like the Cavani's, like bringing back CR7. All these guys, we brought them in because they were commercially viable. We didn't bring them in because we thought that they could reach their ceilings at Man United. All of them had already declined. All of them. Do you know what I mean? And even Casemiro to a certain degree, even though I'm super glad we got him, yeah, like, he's definitely not as good as he was. That being said, he was still our best player. But the premise is that we're going to be buying players on the right side of their prime. And with the likes of the Lomans, the Aiden Heavens, the Dorgus, they've shown that. And then we've brought in the experience with the Delita Mazrawis. And then Euro would be someone that's yet to peak and stuff like that. So I think we got the balance right. And then you look at with Steve Holland, who's got experience at other clubs. People make the Ollie Carrick comparisons, but Ollie had Mick Phelan, who was useless, and then Carrick and McKenna stepped in, who were just cutting their teeth in football at the time to basically babysit Ollie because he wasn't good enough. Ollie never had the framework of the recruitment or the framework of the coaching staff that Carrick has. So the club's been set up way better in this instance, yeah, compared to the situation with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. So on the whole, there's a lot of grounds to be positive, bro. Like, I'm very positive about what we can do next season. We've all the names we've been linked with, I'm okay with. Like, there's not really any names that we've been linked with where I'm like, yo, if we get this guy, like, I want to riot kind of thing. There's none of those. Obviously, we got them like Diamande links, but then that kind of got pushed over to Liverpool, which is cool because I don't want him. But otherwise, I just think we're going in a very, very good direction, and I'm very, very happy with what we're doing and where we're going. So, buzzing to have Carrick there. Do you know what I'm saying? If they want to add another attacking coach to the staff, cool. Do you know what I'm saying? We could use one. I wouldn't say we need one. I don't think it's a make or break thing. If we don't get one, it's an emergency. There's going to be fans that are going to say, oh my God, we didn't get an attacking coach. Where did, bruv? Them man want to moan about everything. The sun's too hot. The rain's too wet, bruv. Man need to shut up. We couldn't win 2 games in a row only a few months ago, and now man are moaning about absolutely everything that Carrick does, man. Get a life, seriously. Seriously, bruv. Like, we're in a good situation, coupled with the fact that our rivals around us have a lot to do. People are talking about the intent that Chelsea have shown with Xabi Alonso. They also showed intent, yeah, spending 2 billion quid, and it got them nowhere. Do you know what I mean? Intent without any proper direction, yeah, is pointless. It's absolutely pointless. Unless they sort out their recruitment, yeah, they'll spend another 2 billion quid and they'll still end up with egg on their face. So it's yet to be seen what they're going to do with Alonso. It's yet to be seen. Liverpool are an absolute shambles, bruv. Arne Slot is beefing Mo Salah on a mad thing. And listen, the quotes is 100% true. Man said, yeah. Man said when you're not as good as you used to be, yeah, that basically it does a number on your ego, fam. And he's spot on. Mo Salah is pissed because he's not as good as he once was, and he's got a superhero complex in his head. He's so used to saving the day for Liverpool that he still thinks he's that guy. He's got the same superhero complex that CR7 has. He's got the same one, except he never had a career or a ceiling like CR7. So, like, with Salah beefing the manager, obviously Salah's gonna have friends in the dressing room. That means by default the dressing room split. The manager don't have the full support of the squad. Liverpool and Chelsea have a lot to deal with. Spurs, brother, they're just about trying to stay up right now. Them man are watching West Ham games. So it's only City and Arsenal that Man United should be looking to close the gap on, yeah, by doing the right work. And that's the bare minimum we should be doing. If we don't do the right work, then this is when conversations need to be had. Because this is the perfect situation, brother. And not just because we got Champions League, but because we can open up some real space, some real daylight on the teams that are behind us. So I believe we're going to do what needs to be done. All the signs point towards us doing what needs to be done. Get me my 3 midfielders. Get me a winger. We were discussing in the game as well, bro. Like, Njaya can play on the left and the right. I think he'd be perfect because I can't lie. Some games, yeah, like Abumo's better in the 9 and Ahmad's not a week in, week out starter, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think Brian should be starting week in, week out on the right-hand side. Dorgu can play on both sides as well. Dorgu can play on the right. We've seen it. And I think there might be times where we do see it. But, bro, Njaya can play on both sides, bro. Cunha, I'm all right with on the left, bro. I'll be honest. I'm all right with Cunha on the left because he's a quality player. He's a quality player. And although he can play in the 9 as well, and he could probably play in the number 10 as well, I think that there's an argument that we should be focusing on the right more than the left, bro, because Ahmad's a valuable squad player, but man are not challenging with Ahmad on the wing week in, week out. Like, his end product is not at a consistently high enough level for man to rely on him. Do you know what I'm saying? He's great when it comes to work rate, off the ball, positioning, tenacity, ball retention's calm, keeping the ball, doing little give and goes, but when it's time to be decisive, final pass, final finish, it's not there. And it never will be there. Do you know what I'm saying? He's never really been a numbers guy. He's always kind of been a utility kind of player, bruv. He's always been that neat and tidy. That's what we love about Ahmad. But at this level, yeah, when you're trying to challenge for trophies, you need a brother that puts up numbers, innit? You need someone that's reliable, bruv. You need it. So in the away from home games, when you need someone to work hard for the team and that's great. But when you need to put a team to the sword, week in, week out, you can't rely on Ahmad. I think that the criticism for him is massively over the top because people either choose to ignore the kind of player he is or they don't understand, innit? He needs players close to him to connect. Yes, he's good in tight spaces, but he's not a 1v1 dribbler. He's a guy that can take a player on. If it's like little short bursts, he can get past someone, cut in front of them, but he's not the guy. He's not Doku. He's not going to isolate you, take you down the outside and cook you. He's not going to do that. What he can do is use little clever movements, little give and goes to kind of create space. And today he was getting double teamed for the most part. It was 2v1, sometimes 3v1. No one close enough to him to really give him some space, bruv. Do you know what I mean? So I actually felt sorry for him at times, but the natural thing is, oh yeah, he's not good enough because he's not picking up the ball and jinking past 3 people. So I don't know, man. I thought the criticism was over the top, but week in, week out, Brian is not a right winger. So I think we could use someone that can actually do both. But I'm looking forward to the window. Like I said, there's absolutely no reason based on what Ineos have shown me so far to believe that they're not going to go one better this summer and have an even better window, because the last 2 windows have been very, very good if you're talking about summer windows. And then in the winter, we still picked up Dorgu and Heaven as well. So these men have been very active. They're showing that they want to be competitive, and I believe we will be competitive next season, man. I believe we will be competitive, and I have complete confidence that we're going to bring in players that are going to upskill this squad, man. So yeah, man, like, it's a thank you Casemiro thing. Do you know what I'm saying? Absolute baller. Congratulations, Bruno. Obviously, man's tied the assist record, and hopefully he breaks it last day of the season. You know, them ones, like, it's almost a nailed on player of the season thing for him. I know they're trying to do the Rice versus Bruno thing, and obviously I don't rate Rice in it. But also, like, if Bruno has broken a record, for instance, like, man can't just give it to Rice because he won the league. Because if these men want to do statistics, Rice is not top for anything in any stats, bruv. Do you know what I'm saying? And he statistically hasn't been the best midfielder in the league. He's even behind Casemiro. So it's one of them things where I don't think he's done anything to win that, bruv. He's done nothing. So as much as some people can say Bruno hasn't had a great season, he hasn't. However, he's achieved something, yeah, that's in the history books and will be in the history books forever. This Rice season, yeah, on paper, it does nothing. You know what I'm saying? It means nothing. Do you know what I'm saying? Obviously, if he wins the league, that's great for him. He's getting a medal for that anyway. Player of the season is an individual award. It's not a team award. So as an individual season, this is probably the best season individually that Bruno's probably ever going to have in the Premier League in terms of what it means for him. So it's the most logical person to give it to. And people will turn around and say, yeah, well, I think when Henry broke it, he didn't get it or something like that. Even though I don't know that to be true, I'm just thinking of specific rebuttals. Whatever the rebuttals are, he probably deserves it based on that. You know what I'm saying? So it's been a solid day. Obviously, this ain't the last game of the season, it's the last home game. So it seems like a farewell video, but we still got one more game. Obviously, big up Casemiro, big up Bruno, and obviously Michael Carrick, my flipping manager. You know what I'm saying? People need to back him. I can't lie. And you man know me, I am very objective. If Carrick gets the players, yeah, and I think he's underachieving, I will call it out. Nobody is immune from criticism. But what people can't be doing is screaming that we need 5 or 6 new players, but then screaming and saying, oh, Carrick's not good enough, the football's not good enough. Good players play good football, bruv. If he had good players and the football's still rubbish, then I'm hearing you. But when he has to bring in Mason Mount in the middle, yeah, because he doesn't want to play Ugarte. I think Ugarte, maybe he wasn't in the squad anyway. I don't know. But even if he was, he weren't coming on. Carrick don't like him. Do you see what I'm saying? So the fact that you got to play Mason Mount in a double pivot because you don't have midfield options, you can't blame him for the football, because I've never seen a team play good football without a solid midfield. Midfield is responsible for a lot of things. Controlling the game, breaking up play, everything. The midfield, yeah, is where games are won and lost. They always say in boxing, from I've been a kid, bruv, they've always said games are won and lost in midfield. That's how I understand the game to be. So if we understand that we've got midfield frailties, how can you expect Michael Carrick to consistently put in high-level performances with a team that has no spine? You can't. So let's wait and see who they give him. Let's wait and see what he does with those players. And let's wait and see how these guys look in pre-season before we start jumping the gun, innit? And me personally, I think that he's done a very, very good job. Like, the way people were talking about the squad before he came in, you could say that he's overachieved. 2 losses. 2 losses. 11 wins. 11 wins from 16. Only 2 losses. Man was saying that this squad was rubbish. So based on that, he's overachieved. He's got 3rd place at a canter. I don't care if it's 1 game a week or not, because we've seen teams have 1 game a week and still not make top 4. I believe Chelsea did. So I don't want to hear anyone discrediting Michael Carrick for what he's doing. He's had a great start to the season. I mean, he's had a great end to the season. He's earned the job, and I think he's gonna do well, bruv. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, man, big up Carrick, fam.